Hello everybody, we're here and today we're doing the Anti-Spell Festival. People have been asking me about what I think you should play for it, and as there is a lot of decks that you can play for it, a lot of them are kind of lame, like fully trapped decks. How about we do something that's a little less lame, which is, I call it Pendulum Anti-Trap. So what we're running is a standard Pendulum Magicians, but we have Jinzo in the deck, and we're also running Red Reboot. This shit is hilarious. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. Little spoiler there. It's very funny, and I think it's very good. So a lot of what you might be wondering is why is Supreme King's in there? Supreme King can copy other cards. It doesn't just have to go for the FTK. We can copy Electromite. We can copy Baron de Fleur, which is actually kind of important too, kind of relevant. The deck does a very good job at OTKing your opponent if we're going second, especially with the red reboot. Another thing you can catch your opponent off surprise is they might be holding a trap for something specific, and if you end up going for that pendulum summon, summoning Jinzo, it just locks them out of all their traps. So, and you guys might also be wondering why the hell is number 38 in there. There's a lot of pendulum decks on the ladder too, so it's actually not a horrible card to be running. Also, you can mess with your opponent's combat too with it. But other than that, I mean, the deck, it looks clean, obviously. The ratios are very good. Let's get into some replays, and then on the recap, we can go more over how the deck performed. Here we are with game number 1, my little goblins. And as you see, our hand is a little cray-cray. And we're playing against Dynamorphia. So let's see if he activates any of his cards. Because again, he's thinking I'm playing pendulums, which I am. Look how hilarious this is. I'm just showing this very quick match. Opponent concedes because they cannot play the game. And that's how the deck works for the most part when you're going second. Let's get into some more intricate matches where we're not just instant winning the game. Here we are with game number 2. And yeah, we're playing against Turbo. And he's playing Dark Magician. Which Dark Magician actually doesn't sound too bad. But you're missing a lot of good spells when you play, not playing spells with Dark Magician. And, yeah, our opponent just lost. We top deck Red Reboot, which the card is insane. He goes for the solid. If you're wondering if we can kill him right here because our hand's kind of whack, we can still. It's pretty crazy. You'll see. Well, Red Reboot him. He sets Torrential Tribute. He'll never use that. He lost 4k HP from that judgment, so this makes it much easier for us. Harmonizing. We have to play like this. It looks odd, but we pop. We still haven't done our normal summon, remember, so Joker's going to be very relevant here. Joker's going to get our purple. And then we're going to go into heavy Electromite. This is why Ash Blossom is pretty relevant to summon a lot of these games. Because now we're going to have the purple poison pop the Dark Magician. Remember, he can't use back row because spells don't exist, so his entire back row is traps. We're going to summon Sorcerer, add another purple magician, pop the Dark Magician, top deck another red reboot. Definitely don't need that. And then Baron, we can just pop that, and then we have enough damage on board to kill him. Simple as that. The deck works pretty good, I would say. We played the purple poison for no reason. Didn't need to play it, but GG. Goodbye. Here we are for game number 3, and we got a pretty decent hand. It's going to pop. Special. It's pretty important. Let's just go into Electromite before we do anything. You could argue we could have gone to something else, but I think Electromite's a good card to go into right now. Pop. Pop. A lot of popping. We top deck Jinzo. So I think the big mistake I do here, and I don't even know, it's definitely a mistake. It's definitely a mistake. Now I'm looking at this. I get so horny for the Jinzo, I summon it even though I have like very relevant trap cards to use. Add. Fusion. I think this was kind of pointless of me doing too, for the most part. I don't think we needed to do this loop here. I don't think it was necessary. It does leave me... It actually, I don't know. It's kind of important because now he has to deal with the Supreme King. If he doesn't deal with Supreme King, it's going to be very rough for him. He's running danger. We can't negate danger. If you guys know how that works, it just wastes a charge of Appaloosa and it doesn't actually do anything. Because you can just spam the effect. So he's on the same deck. He's on Magicians, except he's playing danger. Okay, summon, summon, summon. So his whole hand, he had a lot of gas. Which is kind of rough for us. We negate the pop just so he doesn't add cards to hand. And he goes into Underworld Goddess. And now this is a big mistake on his part. Because Underworld Goddess negates everything on the field. So Jinzo's negated. So now he can pop his whole board. And he's going to go for a pop on that to resurrect that. And then he just ends his game. And he's fucked. So yeah, I did a mistake with summoning Jinzo. But at the same time, it kind of worked out. Right? But I feel like we could have... I think just summoning Jinzo was just very risky. Because what if he, link climbed into, he could have linked climbed into an Axis Code Talker, and then just... If he played that better, I feel like it could have definitely been a lot worse for me. Yeah, Jinzo definitely wasn't the right play. But you live and you learn. And guess what? We still won, so who cares? Hello, everybody. We're here for game number 4, and our hand is... kind of whatever, to be honest. Could be a lot better. We're going to get 2 Pendulum summons here. Double popping everything. Pop, pop. We have a normal summon, so our Joker's pretty live. And then we get our Time Pendulum Graph. It's definitely not going to be the best turn 1 end board. Okay, so we end up going for the Baguska play, and we set that. So the reason why we set this is because the pop with Purple Poison and Time is really strong. So we pop there. This is actually very relevant, by the way. And then he Astrographs, which is kind of scary. So my opponent was pretty lucky to have that Astrograph. He adds a Purple Poison. We pop that. He plays Purple Poison. And he has Wisdom Eye. So this is super lucky on our opponent's part. Having all these cards. Because he pretty much is able to... The reason why I popped Wisdom Eye is so he wouldn't get the double Iris. But at the end of the day, he got the double Iris anyway. Electromite's not going to do anything because we have this Imperm. Baguska's kind of putting in work here. Not going to lie. He has one face down, though, I'm a little worried about. He's going to pop his own. And Electromite still is not going to grab him a card, which is very important, mind you. Because he only has one target right now for this, this time thing. For the trap. So I take a liberties here. To play Jinzo. This was a horrible idea, though. I should not have attacked like this. I don't know why I did this. I mean, I guess it didn't really matter at the end of the day. So the reason I do the pop the way I did is because our opponent can't actually use this because he has no Magicians. So I wanted to take the 2,500 off the board because, yeah. And this Soul Supreme is kind of a weird card. I'm not sure how you feel about that. It doesn't even really do anything. I mean, his name's Odd Bro. So he's definitely playing some Odd Eyes deck. We're definitely going to make an Odd Eye deck too. We got to get to it though. Yeah, we're kind of... I don't know. Top decking the Iris is kind of good because it gets rid of our time now. But this card goes away at the end of his turn. So, here, this is the thing that's weird. Our opponent concedes here, right? Which I think is a little strange, but I think it's because he was on top deck mode. He probably didn't like being in that position. I'm pretty sure we would have won though, because we would have just normal summoned. We would have tributed the Baguska, normal summoned this, and then we would have got another. We would have been able to have a lot of plays though. But that game really could have gone either way if he actually played it out. It's kind of annoying because I was pretty interested to see what the hell happens in that. But whatever, it is what it is. What happens when you're playing this shit? Hello, here we are with game number 5, and our hand actually looks pretty cracked, to be honest. But then he maxes us, so it makes it a lot less cracked. Maxi is such an annoying card, dude. I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of like Maxi, but at the same time, I want to see it banned. I want to see what it does to the format banning that card. Like, think about it too. If they ban the card, we all get 90 ultra rare dust. It's not the worst thing in the world. But right now, Maxi is like, do you have like an Ash check? Do you have Ash or not? Do you have Ash or Called by the Grave? Oh, you don't? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the win then. Yeah, he's absolutely butt fucking me right now. Doesn't feel good. You think it would feel good? You think it would feel fucking amazing right now? What? I didn't say that. But I summoned the Joker here, and it gets forevered. And we know this card is one of the Eldritch cards, and this one's Sanguine, so we're gonna summon. Everything's summoned. We're gonna pop. Goes the Weasel. Hell yeah. Pop goes the Weasel. He plays Sanguine. I activate. So this is another thing, important thing to know. If you negate, because this is a Baron de Fleur now. If you negate with this Baron de Fleur still has its negate. So it's like very relevant. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is actually a good play here. So we negate him. Bam. Easy peasy. We attack him for a fucking big chunk of damage. He's gonna banish. There goes another Sanguine. Yep. We get Lava Golemed. Pretty neat. Pretty coolio. Yeah. So much fun, dude. I fucking love this game. So we need to top deck something fucking incredible to actually do anything here. Top deck red Ash. I mean this. And we get Torrential Tributed. So it really didn't matter what we top deck because both our cards die, and then he has Sanguine to put 5k on board. Oh man, dude, this is why you have to. This is why the red reboot Jinzo I think is like necessary in this event. Like I really do, because there's so many people running this type of shit. It's so annoying. GG, I guess. Alrighty, we're here for game number 6 and probably the final one. You guys are getting the gist of this deck, right? It pretty much plays exactly like Pendulum Magicians, minus some of the really good cards, like some of the really good spells. And also minus the FTK. But it pretty much, you FTK your opponent a different way by making them not be able to play traps. Because if they're playing the trap deck, you win the game. And this is the anti-spell event, so it's also nice to get your event stuff done by playing some spells. I think that's one of the event thing, because Pendulum's the only decks that can do that. But we're pretty much going to be comboing off, and we get that time Pendulum Graph, and we get a red reboot. That shit's going to be relevant. We're going to add a card to hand, activates ability. Honestly, doing this doesn't really matter too much, I'm going to say. But this is a way to get double Supreme Lord on the field. And we're going to summon it. And then we go into Hope Harbinger. The reason I go into Hope Harbinger, hear me out. Hear me out. Sounds stupid, right? If for some reason I was locked out of going into Appaloosa, and secondly, if my opponent is on Pendulums, this would be a good card to play against them. And I have Red Reboot if it's anything else. All right. So he sets 5. I actually pop one of the back row because I'm not 100% sure if Red Reboot works if he can't set. So I summon the Joker. He activates Ring of Destruction. I looked at his deck. He's playing like an Eldritch Heavenly Lord Prison trap deck. I was surprised to see Ring of Destruction's limited to 2 in this event too. But yep, we reset him, and just goes to show you, Red Reboot is broken in this event. Hello everybody, thank you for watching this far with me, and let me just tell you, you're looking sexy today. But you know what would be even sexier? If you actually subscribed. So please subscribe. Helps me out. Would be pretty neat. Also, guess what? Join our Discord. Why aren't you in there? We do a bunch of cool stuff. We actually, this weekend, we did like a whole Pokemon thing. We're all playing together on Pokemon through the Discord and through streaming. It's pretty cool. Now let's get to the deck. The deck performed insane. I will want to say the deck is in gold. So, I don't know if that made the anti-spell. It probably made the anti-spell event a little bit easier, to be completely honest, because we rolled through everyone. We dropped one game in the entire time we were playing it, and that was a game I showcased. You already seen how ridiculous that match was. But guess what? That match would have been piss easy. We would have won that easily if we drew one of our main trap cards, the counter traps. Jinzo's crazy. I think if you build like a Jinzo deck this event, it would probably be pretty nuts too. But that's just really expensive and a lot of random weird cards. But the Red Reboot is insane. The card is so good in this event, because there's so many people playing traps. And when you just shut down their first trap that they try to do, like if we were playing against that Dynamorph person, even without Jinzo, if we had Red Reboot, their deck can't function, and we just win right there. The deck's really good at OTKing your opponent, because you have cards like Supreme King Starving Dragon, and Pendulums in general is just very easy archetype to OTK people with. So if you want free, easy wins this spell event, Pendulum Magician, definitely going to be an easy one to do it with. I will say on a tier, I'm going to put this on a list just for this event. So I would say this is like a 9. Like maybe like a 9.5. The deck's insanely good in this event. Also, the deck, I would probably put it at like almost, this is probably like a tier 1 deck in the event. I didn't like I said, I didn't run into anything where it would be very challenging. Maybe I'm being a little too much. Maybe I'll put it at tier 1.5 just for the sake of like, in case there's something I don't know, like in case there's an archetype that's just really broken I'm not aware of. But this deck was absolutely bonkers. I would assume Endymion would be pretty crazy too, but that deck relies a lot more on spells and magicians than Pendulum Magicians. Like they rely way more on spells in this deck. I think that deck has a little more. Without spells, I would feel like it would break a lot more too. So yeah, I think Endymion's definitely worse in this event than this deck. So yeah, the deck's insane. Easy combos, pretty straightforward play. You have Jinzo in your hand, play it. Dude, we fucked up and we played Jinzo when we had the opener, like a solid opener. And we still won the game because of Jinzo. Because like our cards in the field got negated, we popped everything that they had, and then when it came back to our turn, Jinzo would be live again. They wouldn't really have much of a follow up. They're probably just gonna die right there. Look, don't take my word for it. Try the deck out yourself. You'll find it's gonna be very easy. Well, let me know what the next deck you guys want to see. I did this one on the anti-spell event because I thought it would be fun. Let me know if you want more anti-spell event decks. I can definitely keep doing it. But it depends on what the people actually want. So we'll end up having to see. But other than that, goodbye, y'all.